A blessed day, learners. I'm Teacher Lumaban, and I will be your guide in this video. If you are new in my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated in my videos. This time our topic is the Review Notes in Criminal Sociology, Ethics and Human Relations, Part 6, Crisis Management. Be ready as we start. Learn and enjoy our topic for today. Be safe, and God bless you always.
Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37 verse 5.
Crisis management. Concepts of crisis and emergency. Crisis is a period of disorganization, period of upset during which people attempts at arriving at solution of problems. It is a crucial or decisive point or situation, a turning point, an unstable condition, as in political, social, or economic. It is a state provokes when a person faces obstacles or hazards to an important life goal. The term crisis is derived from the Greek word krisis, which means to separate, a turning point decision in a process of an affair or a series of events. Emergency is derived from the Latin word emergentia, which means dipping/plugging. A sudden condition or a state of affairs calling for an immediate action. Types of crisis. Man-made crisis, civil disturbances, strike, riot, demonstration, revolt such as mutiny and insurrection, revolution, border incident, war, conventional or nuclear, crimes, kidnapping, hijacking, hostage-taking, etc. Natural crisis, fire, floods, earthquake, tidal waves, marine/air disaster, hazardous spills, power failure, nuclear accidents, water/food shortage/scarcity, drought, volcanic eruption, epidemic, etc. Individual crisis, it refers to the feeling that arises when a person faces unpleasant situations such as frustrations and conflicts. This includes 1. Physical crisis, those that are related to health problems or bodily sickness/sufferings. 2. Economics crisis, the deprivation of the basic necessities of life like food and material things. 3. Emotional crisis, when an individual is affected by negative feelings like emotional disturbances, fear, etc. 4. Social crisis, the experiencing lack of interest, confidence, and social skills to relate meaningful, harmonious relationship with others. 5. Moral crisis, the person has an irrational or distorted concepts of what is right or wrong, lack of moral values and integrity of the person. 6. Psychosexual crisis, failure of the person to assume one's sex role and identity as a man or woman. The person has an inappropriate sex objective, inadequate and distorted expression of affection. Crisis management defined. Crisis management is the proper utilization of all available resources and the formulation of policies and procedures to effectively deal with progressive sequence of events, crisis, and sudden or unforeseen state, emergency. Purposes of crisis management. 1. It sets concepts, policies, and general procedures of handling crisis situation. 2. It guides and assists law enforcers in the formulation of crisis management contingency plans and SOPs to address crisis situations. The Crisis Management Doctrine. This doctrine specifically addresses crisis situations arising out of the action of mentally deranged individuals, criminals, or terrorist elements that use violence or threat to pursue their needs. Crisis envisioned to be covered under this doctrine include, among others, hostage-taking, sea-jacking, hijacking, occupation of vital installation, ambush, and arson, with the use of violence or threat followed by blackmail, demands for ransom, safe control, publicity and the like. The crisis may start as basically police or special unit matter, but could develop in proportion and dimension requiring further military operations. This doctrine also will not address crisis when the purview and jurisdiction of the National Disaster Coordinating Council, NDCC, Peace and Order Council, the Cabinet Crisis Committee or the National Security Council, NSC, and other national committee which could be military, economic, political, social or combination thereof, in nature. The general idea is to prevent the occurrence of a crisis, ensure a probability of success in minimizing or neutralizing the perpetrator or to return the situation into normalcy. National policy. The Philippines subscribe to all international conventions and initiatives against terrorism and will participate in all endeavors designed to strengthen international cooperation in order to prevent and neutralize terrorist acts. Pnp/Afp Policy. The Pnp/Afp shall be guided by the National Policy on Terrorism and will strictly implement it. The use of peaceful means shall always be employed. The AFP will not compromise nor make concessions to terrorists even if involves the personnel or property. The AFP will act promptly, decisively, and effectively, choosing from the whole range of military actions appropriate to the circumstances. Phases of crisis management. Proactive phases is the stage of advanced planning, organization, and coordination and control in response to an anticipated future crisis occurrence. This phase is designed to predict or prevent probability or occurrence of the crisis while at the same time prepares to handle them when they occur. 1. Prediction, the first stage of anticipating future crisis occurrences through the following. Update intelligence, involves the collection of information from variety of sources as basis of actions and plan, those that are related to crisis management contingency planning. Events, are those incidents that are already past which can facilitate analysis necessary for identification of probable threat groups, targets, and necessary for advance planning. Threat analysis of threat groups. Apolitical terrorist, ideologically inspire individuals who group together for a common purpose, usually for change of government or political power. X. CPP/NPA, SBTs, etc. B. Criminals, these are people who commit terrorist acts for personal rather than ideological gains. Some of the terrorist acts such as kidnapping are well planned, other are not planned, but happens as a result of the fast response time by leads to an ongoing crime. For instance, a number of bank robberies have evolved into unplanned hostage situation when policemen arrive in response to an alarm robbery is in progress. C. Mentally deranged individuals, people commit terroristic acts during a period of psychiatric disturbance. This type is the most difficult terrorist to deal with. Many of them are impulsive and unpredictable. 2. Prevention, this proactive phase considers countermeasures as part of the total system of operation. Such countermeasures involves the following. Operation security, a counterintelligence measure where all aspect of awareness and training must be considered to prevent threat groups from learning the unit's plans, methods of operations. It also refers to measures taken in conducting operations or activities in secure and effective manner. Personal security, it considers that all personnel are susceptible to terrorist attacks, so there is a need for securing them. All security measures designed to prevent unsuitable individuals of doubtful loyalty from gaining access to classified matters or security facilities. Considerations of personnel threat assessment. 1. Rank and risk, higher ranking personnel have great risk level. In high-risk areas, secure high-ranking officers because they may be selected as terrorist targets by special knowledge they possess. 2. Threat level, potential threats. A. Primary targets are high-ranking military or police officers, government officials, foreign ministries, other VIPs, and persons possessing sensitive information. B. Secondary targets, those selected as alternative terrorist targets to gain publicity. C. Randomly selected targets, military or police personnel who are not off-duty or engage in private activities and become targets of opportunity. Stages in preparation of personnel security program. 1. Planning, threat analysis and assessment of available personnel security resources. 2. Personal security education procedures are adopted. 3. Awareness, periodic briefing, public info drive, printed materials. 4. Education, education on terrorist tactics, Sparrow Opens and the like. 5. Physical security, encompasses protection of info, material, and people including perimeter installation. A system of barrier placed between the potential intruder and the material to be protected. 3. Preparation, this proactive phase involves organizing training and equipment personnel of the organization. In general, military commanders and officers of the PNP must organize, train and equip special reaction, security, and negotiation elements and provide their immediate activation when the need arises. National Level Organization. NCCM, National Committee on Crisis Management, serves as the umbrella organization for crisis management. The primary concern is the formulation of crisis management policies, integration of MIL/POL to public efforts towards the prevention and control of crisis. It is composed by 1. PFSECOM, Philippine Air Force Security Command. 2. PNSWG, Philippine Navy Special Welfare Group. 3. PASAG, Philippine Army Special Action Group. 4. NSAG, Philippine National Police Special Action Group. RCAG, Regional Crisis Action Group. RCMAC, Regional Crisis Management Operations Center, the point of all communications from the OSCP. OSCP, On-Scene Command Post. The OSCP shall establish within the crisis incident site. It is a post or unit within a probable target to be headed by an on-scene commander, OSC, whose responsibility is to take charge of every happening of a crisis incident scene. Composition of the OSCP. Tactical unit, composed of regular military or police placed under the operational command of the OSC. 1. Reaction element, special action unit which are specially organized, equipped, and deployed in the region to hold special operation in cases of crisis incident. 2. Security element, military or police personnel tasked to protect the area of perimeter security to prevent occurrence of unnecessary incidents. Support unit, it is a unit that provides the necessary administrative, operational, and logistic support of the OSC. 1. Intelligence team, responsible for the collection and processing of all information needed by the OSC. 2. Communication team, responsible for ensuring effective communication between OSC and other units or subunits. 3. Logistic team, responsible for ensuring mess services, supplies, clothing, equipment, transportation, and other logistic services. 4. Medical team, responsible for all medical supplies and services in cases of crisis incidents. 5. Firefighting team, responsible for all services related to extinguishing fires intentionally set by perpetrators or during the result of operations. 6. Administrative personnel, personnel assigned to OSC to keep written records of events, incoming or outgoing communications. 7. Legal/investigation team, services of investigation, preservation of evidence, documents, and legal advice to the OSC. Negotiation unit, it is headed by a chief negotiator and composed of 2 or more members. Their primary concern is to serve first life, prevent destruction, and pave the way for a peaceful resolution of crisis situations. The reactive phase. When a crisis occurs despite the proactive effort, the organization concerned must be prepared to perform the crisis management in accordance with their plan. Performance, it is the action stage, the implementation of the crisis management contingency plan. 1. The initial action, the stage taken by the initial action unit, which is composed of police and military personnel immediately organized into team to initially respond to take incident and begin the containment effort. They are responsible for maintain control of the situation. Report the matter to the RCAG through channels. Secure the scene by establishing perimeter security. Evacuate bystanders if possible. Prevent escape of perpetrator. Take maximum control. 2. The action stage. The action stage starts as soon as the tactical, support unit and the negotiation unit arrived and are deployed. The OSC discusses the incident with his commander and staff and decides on the plans and actions to be taken. Negotiation, Chief Negotiator undertakes negotiation as soon as he has been properly briefed and received appropriate instruction from the OSC. He shall keep the OSCP informed of the progress of negotiations and shall take instructions only from the OSC. No further negotiation shall be undertaken when the tactical unit commander initiates tactical operations. Tactical action: the tactical commander makes a complete estimate of the crisis situation and plans his courses of action upon arrival at the scene while negotiation is in progress. He shall maintain and continuous contact with the OSCP. He shall take over authority on reaction element throughout the tactical operations. He shall take instructions only from the OSC and coordinate all support requirements with the OSCP. 3. The post-action stage. This stage begins as soon as the perpetrator surrendered, captured, or neutralized. OSC shall ensure that the following are accomplished: protection of the incident scene, investigation of the incident, preservation of evidence, documentation, SS, witnesses, hostage, perpetrators, and other key participants of the incident. Recovered, documented, preserve evidences. Pictorials, written reports. Filing and prosecution of cases. Damage compensation and rehabilitation. He also initiates recommendation for the compensation and provide assistance to civilian killed and injured during tactical operations. He initiates recommendation for the rehabilitation, construction of damaged or essential infrastructures. Training and retraining of unit personnel. Special units and negotiators shall continue with their training to improve their proficiency and enhance their readiness. Concerns of crisis management. Terrorism. Terrorism is a threat or actual use of force or violence for political or other purpose, to foster fear, insecurity, distrust, and unrest among a specific group or the general population. Violence for effect, not primarily, and sometimes not all for the physical effect on the actual target, but rather for its dramatic impact on an audience. The calculated use of violence or the threat of violence to attain goals, often political or ideological in nature. Is violent criminal behavior designed to generate fear in the community, or a substantial segment of it, for political purposes. Classification of terrorist. 1. National terrorist, a terrorist who operates and aspires to political power primarily within a single nation. 2. Transnational terrorist, this is a terrorist who operates across national borders, whose actions and political aspirations may affect individuals of more than one nationality. 3. International terrorists, a terrorist who is controlled by, and whose actions represent the national interest of a sovereign state. I can do all
things through Christ who strengthens me. I hope you learned something new about our topic on review notes in criminal sociology, ethics and human relations, part 6, crisis management. If you learned something in this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends to also learn about this topic. If you have comments, questions, and suggestions, you can leave a message in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching my videos, hoping that we meet again in my next video, and God bless you always. It is Teacher Lumaban YouTube channel.